Hi, and welcome to Writer of the Week. Today we are here with Martha Graham Walden. She's the author of Nothing Like Normal, which is a fascinating book about surviving a sibling's schizophrenia. Welcome, Martha. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad we connected.
So the first question I have for you is, what was the catalyst that made you want to write this book, and when did that happen?
Okay. Well, the bottom line on writing it was that I myself wanted to explore and reconcile myself to my own past. So it was kind of a personal goal of mine to look back on my teenage years and growing up with my sister and how I watched her illness develop and how that affected me as a younger sibling and my family. So that was a very healing and cathartic experience for me. I did have gain a good understanding of what had taken place and what I should do going forward and lessons that I'd learned. But in another regard, I really wanted to help other families and young people who might be experiencing this in their families. And I also feel like I've accomplished that goal because I have connected with other families. I am a speaker for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And I give talks in the high schools. I gave 3 talks last week in the local high school about mental illness and suicide prevention to young people. And so I find that very rewarding. And I feel like I've connected with my readers on a personal level regarding these experiences.
And so when did you start writing the book?
I started writing it in about 2008. My sister passed away in 2007. So it took me some time to give it some thought. And, then I just started writing. As a matter of fact, I've always been writing, and I've always written in my journal. And I did that as I went through my grief process. So I had a lot to go back on and look at. And examine. And I was able to do that. In fact, I was able to find things that she had written and I had written when we were in high school. And I included some of those in the book too, that I think gave it a very personal kind of message.
Great. And in the writing process, were there any surprises along the way?
Well, I guess, I would say that I found that it was hard. I don't think that would come as a surprise to most writers. It's a daunting experience to write a book. It's something that you're trying to work on maybe every day. Or for myself, I kind of took it in chunks as I started to experience memories from my childhood. I would sit and write, maybe about a memory a day or so of whatever I was thinking of, and bring those memories back into focus and back into life. And so it was a very lengthy process, 6 or 7 years time altogether of just writing it bit by bit. And that's hard some days, you don't feel like writing, and it's emotionally hard. It was emotionally hard, but I also realized that it would have been harder if I hadn't written it, because I would just be carrying around all these feelings that were unresolved. So I'm very grateful for the experience, and I'm even happier that it has resonated so well with readers.
What has been the reader response? You said there's been a lot of, it's helped other people?
Yeah, the reviews I've gotten have been marvelous, I think. People write very lengthy reviews, and they talk about they might have had an experience with their brother or sister, or one woman with their son, and but she just wanted to read something from the sibling's perspective so she could understand where her son was coming from in the experience with his sibling. And so it's been very encouraging for me to get those positive responses. And then, as I said, also to make a connection with the mental health community locally, and volunteering and working for them. So that's been terrific too.
So I guess you've sort of answered this question, but maybe if there's anything else you'd like to add, who are your readers, and is there anything you want them to know about the book that you haven't already mentioned?
Well, I'd say my readers were, well, people who like memoirs, that's true. And I am a, online member of several groups that focus on memoirs and memoir writing, and that's been helpful, was very helpful for me in writing it. So people that are looking for a good memoir with an intriguing real story will find it interesting. And then I think people that have had these kinds of experiences, so people in the mental health community, and it's such a widespread experience, you might not realize that 1 in 4 people, experience mental illness in their lifetimes. And with young people, teenagers, the statistic is 1 in 5. So it's a very common experience. So, it's been easy to connect with people that are kind of evaluating their life experiences and kind of ringing a bell with what they've been experiencing too.
Martha's book is available on Amazon.com, and if you want to find out more, you can go to her website, Nothing Like Normal. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we wish you a lot of success with your book, Martha.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Take care.